right. So let's start the session, and let's talk about the agenda. What basically we are going to learn today. Uh, as per the document, the documentation which we are accessing and lab which we are accessing. As per the documentation, we will be starting with the shared responsibility model in EC2. So, what will be the agenda of the day, guys? Agenda. What we are going to learn? The first thing which we are going to learn is AWS shared responsibility model. Shared responsibility model. In the second one, we'll start the compute part. What is compute? Along with that, inside the compute, so this will be our agenda. Inside that, you will be seeing multiple applications one by one, right? You will be seeing multiple application one by one. And when we talk about timestamp, so this AWS shared responsibility model will take 10 minutes. Remaining time, we will be performing the lab plus theoretical session both together for EC2. So if some of you are waiting to learn EC2 completely from top to bottom, so I'll start today itself. I'll start today EC2, right? And we will be performing at least one or two lab today, and uh, 4 or 5 labs tomorrow, so that we will try to complete it, right? So from today onwards, most probably we will be starting the lab directly. So we have completed the services and service categories. Now you all have to complete the KC of it. I'll start with the shared responsibility model, which is the next topic, shared responsibility model, and this will take 10 minutes, as I've told you. Basically, what this topic all about, guys? Let's say customer and AWS. Now AWS is delivering the services to the customer, and customer is requesting for the service. It is delivering and it is request. So two entity, we can say two entity has been involved here. AWS and customer, two entity has been involved here. So what exactly it should be when it comes to Divya? Can you mute yourself? Deepak. Okay. So here we are able to see two entity. So it should be very clear who will take what responsibility, right? As per our discussion into global distributions, we have seen it, like how exactly the responsibilities are getting shared. So if you see this picture, guys, it's so simple to understand. There is a middle line here. Up to the middle line, this is the customer responsibility. Below this line, it is AWS responsibility. It means that AWS is responsible for its global infrastructure, like regions, availability zone, and edge locations. Along with that, it is responsible with the foundational services like your compute, storage, database, and networking. This is the responsibility of AWS. When it comes to customer responsibility, as you can see, from customer data to application and identity access management, operating system, in whatever the network you are deploying, in firewall configuration, along with the encryptions. There are three types of encryptions we do have: client side data encryption, server side data encryption, and network traffic protection. These all are encryption. So if you are doing the encryption, the security which you are applying here, encryption is the part of cryptography. Encryption means you are just encrypting the data to protect from threat. Like basically, you can say, if I'll tell you about encryption somewhat. So encryption, basically, it is a method, guys. Encryption it is a method to convert plain text. If you do have plain text, you can convert into cipher text. What all are these texts? Plain text, generally it used to be in readable format, and cipher text will be into unreadable format. So how exactly it will look? Let's say if you are sending hello to somebody, it is into plain text, it is readable. Now if you will convert this hello in ciphertext by using some keys, so you can say, like, let's say it will come dollar has one, and then cap, and then again dollar, and then at the rate 3 4, like that, or unwanted undesired value will come here, and this will be ciphertext. It is unreadable format. So encryption is the method to convert plain text into ciphertext by using some key, some key some key. In that key, further you will be seeing public key, private key. By using key they will encrypt, by using the same key they will decrypt. If you are here and you are using a single key to encrypt the data, and here the same key you are using to decrypt, and then you can read the message hello. If you use the same key to decrypt and encrypt both, that is your symmetric encryption. If you are using two different key, one for encryption and one for decryption, that time you will be calling it as asymmetric encryptions, right? So this is encryption. If you are doing encryption, that is again your responsibility, in what operating system you are using, what kind of network deployment you are doing, what all are the firewall configurations, application identity and access management, and your customers data. These entire responsibilities goes to the customer, and these responsibility will be of AWS, the foundational services along with their global infrastructure, right? And if AWS is responsible for anything, then we used to call security of the cloud. Security of the cloud responsibility is of AWS, and security in the cloud responsibility of customer. Security of the cloud responsibility is of AWS, like your global infrastructure, compute, storage, database, networking. Physical security of your data center, hardware and software infrastructure, protection, network infrastructure, virtualization infrastructure, all responsibility will be of AWS here. Along with that, here if you see, we used to call security in the cloud. Security in the cloud means what all are the customers data you do have, applications, identity and access management, and encryption, including encryption operating system. This entire responsibility will be customer, that we used to call security in the cloud, like your EC2 OS, including patching and maintenance. Patching means, let's say if you are having OS or any application, right? And what will happen if there is any loophole, or you can say a backdoor. So uh, you will fulfill that backdoor by using the patching. So if you need to add any patching, or if you need to update or maintenance, that time again it is responsibility of customer. Security in the cloud responsibilities goes to the customer. In EC2 instance OS, including patching, maintenance, if you do have application, their password, their access, and if you do have security group configuration, just it is a small part of your firewall. In your entire firewall, IPS, IDS, network configuration, these entire responsibilities will be of customer only. And if you talk about service based security responsibility, guys, so moreover, if you are taking infrastructure as a service, it means that you will be more responsible for what do you call, multiple more responsible for multiple resource security. It can be your, if you take something into IaaS, it means that you will be responsible for PaaS and IaaS both. If you take only platform as a service, you will not responsible for IaaS. If you take only software as a service, you will not responsible for PaaS and IaaS. And as you can see, if you need to get more command, more control, that time you will be going to the infrastructure as a service, where you will be having more flexible, you will be having more setups here, more settings, so that you will be having more control. And here customer is more responsible to handle, multiple things: your infrastructure, your platform, your operating system, your software also, application also. In platform, as you can see, the customer doesn't need to manage the underlying infrastructure. Means if you are taking platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, you are not responsible for it, right? Like the same, if you take software as a service, it is centrally hosted. So if you take software, it means that you are not bothered about infrastructure and platform. You are not responsible about it. You will be responsible about software, plus whatever your data and application you do have, you will be responsible for it. And it is license on subscription model, which is pay as you go. And you can access it through multiple way. Either it can be console API, or you can say through your AWS CLI. You don't need to manage the infrastructure if you take the software as a service. This is the same picture which we have seen there. uh, and again, there are some scenario where we need to find out who will be responsible. So the scenario number one, guys, if you upgrade and update or apply the patches to operating system which is running on EC2, who will be responsible for it? On EC2, if you do have any operating system and on this OS you want to apply some patches, who will be responsible for it, guys? Anybody? Customer. Customer will be responsible. Physical security of data center responsibilities goes to AWS. Virtualization infrastructure, again AWS. EC2 security group setting, customer. This you will be learning, configuration of the application that run on EC2, customer. Oracle upgrades and patches. If Oracle instance run on RDS instance, AWS. If it runs on EC2, customer. Configuration of S3 bucket access, customer. So once you will keep learning, you can easily understand who will be responsible for what particular service. Alright guys, so this is the end of AWS shared responsibility model. First service category which we are going to learn is compute. So I'm starting from here. You can just do Google aws.amazon.com. We'll start from this website, aws.amazon.com. So once you visit this website of AWS, here you will get the products. Here you will get the products. Under these products, you will be getting your service categories here into the left menu. As you can see, it start from analytics. Alphabetically, it is getting started. Analytics, application integration, AI, business application. These all are the service categories. Now the first categories which we are going to learn is compute. So we will click on compute. We'll click on compute. And you can see inside the compute, these all are the services. So many services are there in the compute. What we will do is, we'll click on this compute, top of this compute. What this compute is all about. So inside the compute, as you can see guys, compute is available for any workload. You can create virtual machines as instances. You can create containers. As I have told you, if you virtualize the hardware, you will get the virtual machine. If you virtualize the operating system, you will get container. And if you don't need any server directly, you want to work either on platform, or you want to just run your code without provisioning the server, these kind of compute capacity you will be getting under the compute. And when we say why AWS compute, So you can see millions of organizations run diverse workload on the AWS compute platform. Basically, it is the main infrastructure. If you need to get virtual infrastructure in the cloud, this is the one place from where you will be getting, that is the compute. As the longest running Gartner Magic Quadrant leader for cloud infrastructure and platform service, AWS has been recognized for 12 consecutive years. Means from last 12 years, providing the computational power, AWS is on top only. And there are some organizations, they used to take the services from AWS like Lyft, Netflix, Coca-Cola and Moderna. They have even lowered their infrastructure cost once they have transformed or migrated to the AWS, and they started getting more reliability, security, and they are able to access the cloud. And what all are the benefits of using AWS compute, guys? You can have right compute for your workload. Means right compute for your workload means you will be getting the exact infrastructure based on your workload. And the second is from idea to market faster. It will be very fast because as per need, as per demand will change, this will also change. Securities, you do have built-in security, additional security you can apply. There are a lot of types of pricing options you do have, so it is flexible to optimize the cost also. And now it is telling compute where you need it. So we will try to expand it and we'll try to understand. AWS is only the cloud provider that distribute a consistent set of services from the cloud to your data center to the edge. And there is one more service called AWS Outpost that extend AWS infrastructure services API and tools to any facility. Right? So rather than reading all these things, let's see somewhat other details, guys. So when it comes to where you need it, so I'll add my answer here is, if where do you need compute? Let's say if you need to use a virtual computer, virtual desktop, that time you can use. If you need to host any application, that time you can use. If you are getting a lot of traffic on your server, that time you can use. If you need to complete the software development life cycle process, in that if you need to share the images, again you can use. So there are so many applications that we do have of AWS compute. And as you can see, it gives 750 plus instances for virtually every business needs. These all are some states that has been given. And under this we will be talking about the types of compute in detail. We will be talking about types of compute, guys. How many types of compute services AWS provides, right? Let's say the first one is instances. Instances, further you will be calling it as a virtual machine. That is the first service under the compute service categories that we used to call EC2. And the second one is container. Third one is serverless. Fourth one is edge and hybrid. Fifth one is cost and capacity management. These all are five types. These all are five types compute services AWS provides. Prashant Narahari and Shai Harshvardhan. Okay. So guys, see, the first one is instance, or we can call virtual machine. And for that, you are using a service called Amazon EC2 instance, which is a secure and resizable compute capacity in the cloud. So you have to understand one thing, guys, when I am talking about compute. So you should go ahead with the structured way. So first service category is service category. First service categories which we are discussing here is compute. Compute is all about virtual infrastructure, guys. Virtual infrastructure. And inside compute, let's see, there in AWS, in any cloud providers or in any cloud, you will be getting one thing. The cloud service provider will provide some services to you, and by using that services you will create some resource. Remember, this is very important to understand, guys. AWS will provide you some services. By using these services, customer will create some resource. Who will create resource? Customer will create the resource. Let's suppose if AWS is providing you a service called EC2, which means Elastic Compute Cloud, Elastic Compute Cloud. They do provide this service. By using this service, what resource you will create? You will create instance. You will create instance or instances. Sometime you will be calling it virtual machine. Now this instance will be having different feature. And again, AWS gives you some other computational service inside the compute itself. Inside the compute itself, if you see, AWS is telling you one another service, which is AWS Elastic Beanstalk. So what exactly the Beanstalk is? By using the Beanstalk again, by using another service called Beanstalk, you will again create a resource that is again considered as an instance. In this instance will be having different feature. This instance will be having different feature. Here you have to set up entire infrastructure. In this instance you are not supposed to set up all the infrastructure under the Beanstalk, if you will use Beanstalk and if you do it. Like the same, if you see AWS EC2 Spot, auto scaling light cell. Light cell is again one more. Light cell is again one more service. Light cell is again one more service. By using this again you will create instance that will be having different feature from these two instance. It means that what is important? The important is service. By using what service you are creating what instance. As per your service, if you create the resource, that will be considered under the same resource, it will get the all the feature of the same service. I hope you understand, guys. I'm telling you collectively all compute categories. I'll be entering in one by one in all the services like EC2 separate, Beanstalk separate, Light Cell separate. I'll be entering one by one so that you can come to know the differences in between of all these three services and their resources. But here we need to understand the categories first, like what type of compute services AWS provides. So it does provide instances, right? Different types of instances. For different types of instances, they do provide different services under the compute itself. Container is separate now, so we'll leave container. Let's go to the serverless is also a compute service. So here it is AWS Lambda. Here you need not to provision the server. You have to pay only for compute time, how much time it does take to compute your code. Like the same as in hybrid we do have in cost and capacity management. If you need to reduce the cost, what are the other options AWS provides? So overall, if you see the first one under the AWS compute service categories, if you see the first one, the first service where a user will be having much enough control, guys, that is EC2. The first service where user will be having much enough control, that is EC2, right? It is EC2. So we will try to understand what exactly the first service under the compute. What exactly the first service under the compute, right? So when we talk about compute service, guys, so I have this PPT which I'll share with you all, and this is one PPT. By using this, we will try to understand the first service under compute. First service under compute. So if I say compute, guys, compute. So under compute, the first service which we are going to learn is EC2. EC2 is the service, and we are customer. If we customer will use this service, will use EC2, and we create some resource. If we create resource, that resource will be known as instance. That resource will be known as instance. Is it clear, guys? The first service category is compute. Once again, I am writing first service category is compute, and under the compute, the first service which we are going to see is EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud, and we as a customer will use EC2, and whatever the resource we are going to create, that is instance. And by using resources, by using the AWS services, we are creating the resources, right? Remember, this is, we should not get confused in between of services and resources. Services which AWS provide, by using the same service what customer create, that is resources. Now, who is the topmost user of this particular service, guys? EC2. The FINRA is one, in Cathay Pacific, Snapchat, Volkswagen Group. These all are the top four customers of EC2. So when I have told you about your tomorrow you will be having your presentation on on the customer success story. So you can select any one of the company out of it, or whatever you have selected, discuss in the group, as you have done already, I think. Have you done with your groups, guys? Great. So once we complete the how basically we are going to start, I'll tell you the process of tomorrow. I'll take 2 minutes. As per the group, I'll be sharing. I'll break out the rooms. I'll break out the rooms, and again, you all will go into one your group. Let's say three will be going in each group, and you will be getting 5 minutes to prepare. And after that, we will start the presentation one by one. Right? So please follow that. And let's come back to the topic again. EC2 is the service. By using EC2, these companies are getting more benefits like FINRA, Cathay Pacific, Snapchat, and Volkswagen Group. Now, guys, we will be seeing we will be seeing much more detail under this EC2. We'll try to understand what exactly EC2 is, the complete overview of EC2. What is AMI, Amazon Machine Image? What is instance types? What is EBS and EFS? The use case of EC2 you will be learning, the cost associated with EC2, load balancing and auto scaling using EC2, placement groups of EC2, how it is getting placed into the data center, snapshots, and purchasing options, and what is the recommended best practice for EC2. These all we are going to learn one by one, and after that your lab part will be very easy. So if you talk about, guys, EC2, so what exactly EC2? EC2 is a web service that provides resizable compute capacity in the cloud. Resizable compute capacity means if you take a compute capacity, if you take compute capacity in the cloud, that can be resizable. A web service means AWS. By using AWS only we are doing this. So EC2 is a service that provides resizable compute capacity in the cloud. Resizable means, let's suppose you have created a virtual machine which is having 2 GB RAM and 2 GB RAM and two virtual CPU, and you started with the Windows operating system. This is ready, right? But now you are feeling it is not sufficient for you. Then what you can do, you can resize it immediately. You can resize it. So it is a resize compute capacity. And further, if you go and see into the same EC2, you will be seeing so many things here. For example, you will be seeing the purpose, the features and benefits. So the first feature, web scale computing. Elastic web scale computing means you can elastically increase or decrease your capacity in minutes, and you can thousands of server, guys, thousands of server simultaneously. Means all together you can launch thousands of server from using EC2 service. Means 1,000 virtual machines you can launch simultaneously. It's something, something, what do we say, amazing service, guys. And it is flexible. Again, it is flexible cloud hosting service. So flexible in the sense you can use Windows, you can use Linux, you can use Mac OS also, all the operating system, anyone you can select of it. Instance type is all about one. You need you need the combination of what type of hardware, virtual hardware, like 1 GB RAM, one CPU, 1 TB hard disk, like that, or 2 GB or 4 GB or 8 GB or 10, like that. We do have instance type in software in just minute. Along with that, guys, along with that, what you can do more here into this is you can integrate this EC2 service, or you can integrate your resource which will be created virtual machine and instances by other AWS products such as Amazon S3, Amazon RDS, SQS, and it will also provide complete IT architecture solution. It means that if you create a virtual machine here and you want to keep your web application here, so that you can separately add RDS for database, and this will provide the web related service, this will provide the database related service. Like the same, here it is reliable. Here it is it is not getting clicked here. Okay, it is reliable. uh, it is reliable, guys, and secure. So here you can say, when we talk about reliability, guys, so it is completely reliable, commitment of 9.95% availability, and security you will be learning in the same. And it will be having low cost also. Low cost means the charges you have to see. The charges, AWS charges you by the hour, you only pay for what you use. Rates are lower than the on-premises, but how exactly it does charge? Let's say you create a VM, virtual machine, or instance. The time is 9 o'clock. Now you have stopped this VM at 9:10. How much it will charge? It will charge for 1 hour. Next you start for 9:20. You have used for again 15 minutes, 9:35. Again it will charge 1 hour. So it will charge hour basis, right? Basically, what type of instance you are using, that really show you the what type of instance you are using. I'm trying to tell you as per the demand. These all are the features. I'll not go in detail of the feature. You can learn the feature one by one. So the first one is AMI, guys. First one is AMI. We used to call Amazon Amazon Machine Image. Once you will create the instance guys under the EC2 instance, I'll just bring a complete scenario so that you all will be able to understand, right? A complete scenario will be with the lab. Now I want that everybody should start the lab also. So once we need to access the first service of it, let me make it white because light, yeah, lights are not coming on face. Perfect. So uh, we'll start one by one. The first thing is once we click here on services, we will go to first service categories, which is compute. Inside the compute, we have to select EC2. How to access EC2 guys? First, we have to click on services, or even on this three bar also you can click and you can navigate to the same service, or from here also you can click here and then you can go to compute. From compute you have to select EC2, which is virtual servers in the cloud. We can just click on EC2. If you are not able to do so, what you can do is you can just type in the search EC2 and you can hit enter. It will again bring you to the EC2. Everybody is getting the same screen now?
Yes, sir. Same.
Perfect. So you know what you are going to learn under the EC2. You will get surprised guys, because you are going to learn, there is a dashboard on the left menu, EC2 global view events. Under the instances, we do have instances, instance type, launch template, these entire things you will learn. Under the image, this catalog and all. Under this EBS, you will be learning all these three. Under the network and security, these five. Under load balancing, under auto scaling setting, these all you are going to learn. So obviously this is the matter of a week. This is the matter of a week. On the EC2 instance dashboard. So by using EC2 instance, by using EC2 service, we will create the EC2 instance. So there is an option of instances in the left menu, and there is one yellow option here, launch instance, right? Can you see this red yellow option?
Sir.
We have to click on there for launching the instance. Click there, launch instance. So what is the first thing it is asking? So as you can see into this same, it is telling allow EC2. EC2 allows you to create virtual machines or instances that runs on AWS cloud. Now you are going to create the virtual machine or instance by using EC2. For that you have to give the name. Now you can give any name. You can keep your name. You can keep your machine name. For example, let's say I am going to create a Windows machine. A Windows machine. Right? So I'll just write Windows machine. This is the name of my virtual machine. This will be the name of my virtual machine or instance, right? Windows machine. Next, if you need to move the second option where it is coming application in OS images. Now when we talk about application in OS images guys, so what exactly it is? What exactly OS images and application? So it means that when even on the same screen we do have AMI. AMI is Amazon Machine Image. Amazon Machine Image is a kind of template. It is a template. What is the template? Template means it is a configuration of configuration of operating system and application data. When I said in SDLC process, if you can remember, in software development lifecycle process, there is a developer, there is a tester, there is a operation people. So if they are using a computer, they are using some project, they are making something. So what they can do is they are using some application, they are creating some code, they are using some dependency, same version of application, software and all. So this can be combined in a image. This can be combined in a image. In the same image can be used by the testing team and operation team. So there will not be any problem. So by using this machine, we are creating the same image. In this image contain the application details and operating system details as this is Amazon machine image. So this image and this image the same image, Amazon machine image. Amazon machine image is a template which consists the configuration of operating system and application services in other data. So if I bring you back to the console now, so here sorry, just a second guys. Here, sorry. Perfect. So can you see AMI is an template that contains the software configuration like your operating system OS, application server and application, which will help you to launch the machine. Now here only you have to decide whether you want to launch Windows virtual machine, Linux virtual machine, Mac OS virtual machine or some other virtual machine. Now basically if you need to find out the OS, here only you will be selecting which OS you need. As you can see, Amazon Linux is there, Mac OS is there, Ubuntu is there, Windows, Red Hat, SUSE, Debian. These all are the distributions of Linux except Mac OS and Windows. Now AWS gives you four options. Under the AMI, if you click here browse more AMI, AWS gives you four options to select your AMI. The first option is quick start AMI where you are getting 45. Second is your my AMI. If you create your own AMI, that will come into the my AMI. And third, AWS gives you a big marketplace where you can purchase the software and operating system. Third is community AMI. So from these four AMI you can get. As you can see, the description has been written also. Commonly used AMI, which is quick start AMI. Created by you is my AMI. AWS and trusted third party AMI is AWS marketplace AMI. Community AMI is published by anybody in the community, that is the community AMI. So now you can select from the quick start. Let's say I have told you we will be starting with the Windows one, right? So you can scroll it up now, scroll it up and you will get the Windows one, Windows Server 2025. Can you get the Windows Server 2025 or shall we go with the Windows Server 2022? Let's go to the 2025, which is the latest version. Are you able to see guys 2025? This one? No? Okay, let's go back then. Are you able to see this? Here you can click on, here you can click on this list and you can scroll it down. You can scroll it down, you will get, right? Let's say if you click on Windows and then automatically it is coming. Click on Windows, automatically it is coming, no need to worry on anything. Click on Windows, automatic it will come Windows Server 2025 base.
Yes, sir.
Coming for everybody.
Yes, sir.
So we have seen two things. One is name and second thing we have seen Amazon machine image. Okay. Shall we move further guys?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So the third thing is instance type. Now what is instance type guys? What is instance type? See, when we talk about instance type, so it is all about the configuration. It is all about the configuration. Means what hardware, what virtual hardware configuration you are using. When we are going to learn instance type, instance type means very simple. We are going to see the hardware, virtual hardware configuration. Now, you know, AWS does not support custom value, Azure does not support custom value, but Google support custom value. What is the custom value and what is what I'm talking about, that you will come to know now. When we talk when we talk about the virtual hardware configuration, it means that let's suppose if you are taking 1 GB RAM, one virtual CPU if you are taking, in one network interface you are taking. So it is a complete configuration, and this is the virtual hardware configuration. In this, they have given a one name. They have given a name, and that name is only the instance type of it. Basically, its size, generation, and purpose decide which type of instance it is. If you see, if you see here, we do have we do have these many family here. We do have general purpose instance. We do have compute optimized instance. We do have memory optimized instance. We do have GPU optimized, storage optimized, EBS optimized instance. What exactly you need? For example, you need general purpose. General purpose means what? What is your general purpose? For what we are creating this instance? For what we are creating the virtual machine? That purpose decides basically which instance type you are going to select. Your purpose will decide which instance type we should select. Your use case will decide which instance type you are going to select. For example, if you have small and medium databases in web server, then you can select T2. T2 is the family name. And in T2, you will be having one virtual CPU in 1 GB RAM. This is what you will get into T2. And the cost will be very low. It is, having very low cost, and inside that you will be having multiple T2 micro, T2 nano, T2 is small, like that you will be getting the size. So it is general purpose. Like the same, there are so many. You will be learning slowly. I'll bring you back again to the, to the console so that we can move further. So once we move here into the console, you can see here instance type. Here you can see that option called compare instance type, or you can select T3 micro where you do have two virtual CPU and 1 GB RAM. You can even click here to compare the instance. You can see now, if you need one virtual CPU in half GB, approximate half GB RAM, 0.612 GB RAM, very low. It is having T1 micro. T2 nano, one virtual CPU, half GB RAM, less than half GB even. And T2 micro, one virtual CPU, 1 GB RAM, which is free tier. T2 is small, we do have one virtual CPU, 2 GB RAM. T2 medium, two virtual CPU, 4 GB RAM. Like that, the list has been given to you. A big list has been given. How many instance types are there, guys? You can see 856 types. 856 types of instance we do have. 856 types of instance you do have. You need to get advice also from here, which you can select as per your 856 plus it is, and as per your need, as per your use case, you can select. Is it clear, guys? So
Yes, sir.
for now by default it is coming T3 micro, but we can make it let it be T3 micro only. Neither this 2025, I don't think it will work on T2 micro. 1 GB RAM to it should work. Let's select T2 micro, which we are getting in free of cost. T2 is not coming here in the list. Let's try T2. No, it will not support T2.
Comprehensive steps coming.
Yes, coming in
Very extensive.
here. If I select T2 micro, it will come, right? This is what you guys are telling. But it is not compatible with this Windows OS 2025 server. Either you have to change. If you change this, and if you are using Microsoft Windows Server 2022 base, then it will work. If you change it to 2022 base, this will work now. Okay, so what we are going to use now? Windows Server 2022 base. So guys, let's summarize it now itself. Neither there will be a big problem in future. So the first thing, what we have given a name to the virtual machine. Second thing, we have selected the AMI. What AMI we have selected? Windows Server 2022 base. Next, third, we are selecting instance type. Instance type, which is T2 micro, which is free, right? Which is free. Okay, this is the three things that we have selected till now. Now we'll be moving up to the fourth option, what it is coming here. So now once you will move to the fourth option, guys, after selecting this, everybody please make compatibility. I repeat, I have given a name, Windows machine. I have clicked on Windows, and then I have selected 2022 base, and then I went to select the instance type T2 micro, where I am getting one virtual CPU and 1 GB RAM. And here now the next is now the next is your key pair. Next is your key pair. When we talk about key pair, guys, when we talk about key pair, I'll bring you back again to the same place where we were talking about, you know, we were talking about what, guys? We were talking about the encryption. So once you
Test to
come again,
encryption is the plain test to
correct, very good. So we'll click here, enable editing. Correct. So once you will, let's suppose this is the file. This is a file, and you can call it as a password file. Password file. Now in this password file, you will be having text. Now you will encrypt this file. You will encrypt. So if you will encrypt this file, means it is you are going to encrypt. It is encryption only. You are going to encrypt. So you will be using a key to encrypt this. If you are using same key to encrypt and decrypt the data, it is asymmetric encryption. If you are using two different key, one key for encryption, one key for decryption, that is asymmetric key. There you will be having two key. One we used to call public key, one we used to call private key. So by using public key, AWS used to encrypt this text file, right? Encrypt this text file, and this private key AWS gives us. So by using this private key, you will further, what you will do, you will decrypt this password file. You will decrypt this password file. Once you will decrypt, you will be able to see the password, right? This is the encryption and decryption. And this key, whatever key we are using, public key, private key, this is nothing but we used to call key pair. If you are using both public and private together, because public is getting used by AWS, private is getting used by customer, so we used to call it key pair. So the next option is to create the same key pair. So we will go here and we will keep the name here. We will click here to create the new key pair, guys. Click here to create new key pair, and you will give the name. Let's say I'll give my Windows key. Windows key. That's it. You have to create the key pair. Nothing you have to do. You have to give the name my Windows key, and you have to click here to create key pair. And it will be downloaded in your PC. Downloaded, guys. Downloaded.
Yes, sir.
So the fourth thing which we have done here is we have we have created one key pair and which has been downloaded in our computer. Key pair which has downloaded in our computer. And the fifth option is network setting. Network setting, guys, I'll tell you about the network also, how exactly the network, what network it is, and what all are the, you know. So when we talk about network, guys, see, when we talk about network, let's suppose this is your network, and you are keeping your virtual machine here. This is your VM. So what AWS is doing here, AWS has already created a network for us, so that a new user, if we are a new user, so new user will directly log in into the AWS. They can start creating the instance. How? Because they have given this network in AWS network we used to call VPC, virtual private cloud. And this network you will be calling it as a default VPC, which is created by AWS, that is default VPC. If customer will create any VPC, then that we will be calling it as a custom VPC. So for new users, AWS gives the default VPC, so that we will be using the default VPC only. We will be using the default VPC only. As you can see here, a network name is coming, subnet is coming. We will be leaving as it is. Now, are you able to see create security group option, guys?
Yes, sir.
So create security group. What is security group now? Security group means, let's say, uh, let's do not say. Security group means, let's suppose it is a firewall. Security group is a firewall for instance only. If you not add, for instance, then it will get wrong. Security group is the firewall for your instance. Let's say this is your virtual machine which you are going to create. Now what protocol it should allow, what protocol it should deny, that you will be adding into the same. So in a security group, it is the set of rules. Here you will be getting two rules. In security group you will be getting two rules. It is a set of rules, one set of rule here, one set of rule here. So if any traffic is going into the virtual machine, that we used to call inbound. If any traffic which is going out from this virtual machine, we used to call outbound. The security group is the set of protocols rules which will avoid or which will filter the incoming and outgoing traffic for your virtual machine. So here you will be creating a set of rules for inbound. This you can keep for inbound, this you can keep for outbound. So one protocol we used to call RDP, which is relational remote desktop protocol. Remote desktop protocol. It is remote desktop protocol. It is a protocol which work on 3389 port. 3389 only, correct? Let me just verify once. It works on which port, guys? 3389 only. All right. Next, in inbound, we will what we are going to keep in inbound. We will add RDP and we will allow. It means that if our computer is here, by using the same protocol, we can connect to this virtual machine. Now further, this will send some this is a request. So in response also, the same RDP should be allowed. If your computer is here, if you want to send inbound in RDP, okay, you have sent a protocol request to connect this. But in response, it should come. It means that RDP should allow in inbound and outbound both. Correct, guys? Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
So here you are not going to do anything. Just you need to understand these options. Nothing else. Okay, no need to modify anything. RDP we are allowing by default from anywhere, means anybody can connect this machine. And after that we are getting 30 GB storage. 30 GB storage is for root value. 30 GB storage for root volume. See, root volume and normal volume, how exactly it will look like. Let's say if you do have a Windows OS you do have. So in Windows OS, if you will see, we do use local disk. Local disk, see where we are keeping the program files, per files, all the operating system related files we are keeping into local disk C. So this local disk C is nothing but root volume. Root volume. And others are normal DAS, direct attached storage, other drive if you are adding. So local disk C is equal to the root volume. Root volume in cloud. So in the cloud, if you see root volume, it is of two types. One we used to call EBS and second we used to call instance store. That you will be learning in detail after completing this. EBS is the permanent storage, permanent, because data will persist here. So we used to call persistent storage, and it is non-persistent storage. Because once you'll turn off your machine, once you'll turn off your VM, then what will happen? Data will get deleted. So we used to call not persistent and temporary. So for root volume, either you can use this or this. So we are using EBS because we want to make it permanent and we want to make that data should persist. Correct? And that's it. 5 6 options we have to see today, and later on we will try to learn somewhat more on the daily basis. So after this I'll repeat it once again. What I have selected, I have given a name Windows machine. Then we are coming to know AMI, Amazon Machine Image. It is the template which consists the software configuration like operating system, application and services. And here inside that you will click on Windows, you will select Windows Server 2022 base. Then you will come into the Instance type is again a virtual hardware configuration for your machine, which comes based on your purposes. So we have selected T2 micro, which comes as a one virtual CPU, 1 GB RAM, which comes into family called T2. We have created a key pair here that will help us to log in into the virtual machine. And by default, AWS provides a virtual network, so we are using the same network. In we are creating a security group. By default it has been added. In storage we have given 30 GB. That's it. Now what you can do is you can launch this instance. You can click here to launch this instance. In the once you go to the key pair option on the right side, you see create key pair. Are you getting that option? Click on that create key pair and give a name. Only give a name and then create. Once you'll click to create, it will be downloaded in your computer. Done, guys. How many of you have created? Raise your hand or just send me a message. How many of you have created? Just send in the chat box like done. 3. Great. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 comments I have received and 4 hands. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 12, 13 plus 9. 22 of you have created, I guess, guys. Create. If you are facing problem, you let me know. If it is done, guys, how to go back? How to go back? Just if you are getting the green screen, scroll it down and then you will see on the right below corner, not left, sorry, right, scroll it up, see the corner view all instances is there. You can just click on it and you will come to this screen and you can see your name of the instance, Windows machine. This is the ID. The instance is running. You have selected T2 micro as an instance type. The status check means what exactly your machine, what is the phase status of your machine. So it is initializing. It is not ready to use right now. And then you have created in US West 2A. Reason we have seen yesterday, it is on the top corner. So from that reason, it has selected US West 2A. Later on, I'll tell you how to select by your own. This is the public DNS you will get, and you will get the public IP address of your machine, and monitoring is disabled. This is the name of security group, and this is the name of key pair. When you have launched this machine, the time has been given. What is the platform? Windows, and it is not managed. That's why it is coming as a false. Yes. No problem. See, by default it came. We did not select it, right? So once it is same. 2A, 2B, 2C all are same. No problem. For now, every availability zones are same. Perfect. So we have seen few details here of the machine. If you need to do any operations on this machine, guys, then you have to select. Are you able to see this box? This box here. So you can select this box and then what will happen? Once you select this box, your these options will these options will get enabled. If you need to manage this instance, this option will get enabled. From here you can connect. From here you can check the instance status, whether if you need to stop the machine or reboot the instance or delete the instance. Once you select here, and then you can delete and stop and reboot from here. If you need to take certain actions, like connect option is here and here also, you can get the detail, whatever the details are coming in bottom, that details, instance setting, networking, security, emails, templates, monitoring, all these options are available. In the below options, if you see, The details of instance like instance id, the public ip address, private ip address, dns instance is running, the host name, private instance type is t2 micro. Slowly you will be learning all these things: vpc, subnet. And along with that you do have status and alarm, monitoring, security, networking, storage, in the name, the tag which we have used windows machine, right? Now we have created. Now the time is to refresh. There is an option called reload and refresh here. Refresh instance, as you can see in the center. You can click once, and when your status check is coming 2 by 2 status check passed, it is coming for everybody. Check it out. Status check, guys.
Yes, sir.
2 by 2 status check passed, it is coming. It means that you are ready to connect the machine. I hope it is coming for everyone now, right? So now we'll connect. For connecting, you can just select this machine. Once you select, it will become in blue color, and then we have to click on connect option. Connect. And there are three options you are getting: session manager, rdp client, ec2 serial. Out of these three, we are using rdp client for now, so we have to click on rdp client. rdp client. Okay guys, done. It is coming same as it is for everybody.
Yes, sir.
So there is a option called password here, right? Password, get password. We have to click on get password, and the file which has been downloaded, you have to upload here. We have to click on upload private key file. Click on upload private key file, and go to the downloads of your computer where it has been downloaded. Just upload it. Once you upload, and then you can decrypt this password. If you decrypt, you will get the password here. This is your password. You can click on this board we used to call clipboard. You can clip this. You can click on this clipboard to copy the password. Once you copy the password, then you have to download this remote desktop file. We have to click to download it, and once it will be downloaded, here on the right corner I can show you Windows Machine 1. I'll open this and I'll click on connect. It will just ask a password to me. I'll just provide the same password which I have copied, and I'll click on OK, and then yes, and your machine will get connected. If any one of you face any issue while connecting this machine, you can tell me out.
After password copy, what is the
Come again.
you have to download?
You have to I'll do one thing. I'll repeat the same steps, right? I'll just disconnect it once, and let's suppose you have created the machine, right? You have created the machine and your machine is here. What you have to do is select this machine, click on connect option, go to the rdp client. Second option is rdp client. We have to click on rdp client, and then scroll it up. You will get the option called get password. You have to click on get password, and then there is an option called upload private key file. You have to click on upload private key file, and then you have to navigate to the downloads because it has downloaded in downloads. So I'll just select this file, and then I'll click on open. Once you will upload this text here, then you can scroll it. It will show decrypt password. Decrypt password here. You can decrypt it by clicking on it, and here is your password. This is your password. So how to copy this? There is a clipboard. You can just click here, and password has been copied, and then you will download this remote desktop file. If you download it, it will be downloaded here. You have to double click and open and connect and give the password. Click on OK, And here it will ask, identify to the remote computer cannot be verified, do you want to contact anyway? Just say yes. It is asking for a certificate to verify, we don't have, so it is logged in now. So this is your virtual machine, this is what we have created. And it is having internet also, as you can see this is having internet. So if you need to open something here, let's say browser, if you need to open, or server manager if you need to open, if you need to use it as a computer, virtual computer, you can use it. So today we have seen only how to create the machine. Tomorrow once again we will try to create 2 3 machine to verify, to learn, to understand. Means today itself, and then I'll show you the features of it. Means the application of virtual machine. What is the purpose of using virtual machines like that? So we can start without data, confirm anyway, continue without data, and confirm and start browsing. So this is browser. Now if we need to go to the Google here, we can just type here google.com. And see, this is your virtual machine, guys. And what exactly we are trying to set it. So we are trying to check whether which internet is our internet, which is the AWS internet. So if you go in your, if we come in our machine and if we check our IP address, what is my IP? This is the public IP address which we are trying to get in. So the public IP address of the internet which we are using locally. So I have connected with the router which is 124.123.96.101, which is into Sikandrabad zone, Hyderabad. And now if you will try to check the virtual machines info, if you just write here what is my IP, so we will come to know from where this, and what is the IP address of virtual machine, the public IP address I'm talking about, and from where it has been connected. So that's so simple. You got the output here. Your public IP address of machine is 18.126 dot something. It is showing, it is little bit slow. Let me bring it up. Just because of few ads it is not showing. Let me bring it up. Yeah. uh 18.236.185.119, this is the public IP address, and your IP location is Boardman ORUS. Means it is Amazon.com INC. Amazon data centers, from there we are getting the internet. And speed also you can check it out. Speed you will be getting much more faster than the local speed. Correct? Yeah, so here you can use AWS internet, and here you can use this entire machine. If you need to access, File Explorer, you can. But some of you might be feeling it is very slow, right?
Yes, sir.
Again, right? So that we will be able to perform some additional things into the same lab. So I hope the screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
So now we can just again click on start the lab. If your output or somewhere it is coming, it's clean up, it is in still in cleanup mode, something like that. So you have to wait. Either you have to log out and log in again and start, because it needs a small gap in between of labs. Let's say one lab we have completed or one lab we have done. So next if we resume, there should be a gap. Let's start again, guys, and this time we will try to learn somewhat additional things. Yeah, please. Hmm. So for how many of you it is coming cleanup mode? 3. Okay. So from next time we will try to follow the, you know, common time for ending and common time for starting. That's what, 5 minutes. I have increased the break time today, so that it could not, create the problem. There is one another way also, but again, it will get mix up. So neither we could means we can start other lab, but again, it will get mixed up. So rather than doing other stuff, we can wait for a few more minutes and we can start. Done. What you can do is you can log out, log in again, uh, then start the lab again. It should come from next time onwards. We will try to delete the resource from our end so that it will not create the problem, right? Okay, so let's try adding the features to the machine now. So guys, let's click again on this service button, and we will be going ahead with the compute, and we'll click on EC2. We'll click on EC2, and again we will launch the instance. We will launch the instance, and we will keep the machine name. Let's say Windows machine 2. This time I'm keeping machine 2. This is my machine 2. Windows machine 2. First we have created, second we are trying to create now, and again we'll click on Windows, Microsoft Windows, and it will bring us Windows Server 2025 base, which we will change it to 2022 base. And after this, the instance type is T2 micro. Instance type is T2 micro. We will be keeping as it is, and we will create a key pair. So you can use existing or you can create new key pair. So I'll just keep the name of key pair as a Windows 2. Yeah, I'll tell you how to change. We can change here. No, see, check out your image. It is Microsoft Windows Server 2022 only, 2022 base, and then check it. It is coming T2 micro. Don't try it for, because that is much more bigger, so you might not have permission to create it. T series you can try, T series you can try like T2 T3. Okay, if you go beyond that, again, it will not you will not create into the free tier. It will start charging. No, no, no. Once the lab, the cleanup mode, it will clean. The labs are available only for 1 hour, and it will get deleted everything. But if you will be creating in your own AWS account, so till the time you are not deleting, it will be there. Yes, yes, yes. So here we have selected key pair Windows 2. We have just created a new key pair, and everything as it is we will be keeping. And again we will launch the instance. Again we will launch the instance. So we have done the same which we have done before, but what new we are going to learn here? What new we are going to learn here? Are you able to see my pen screen, guys? So here what we are going to learn, you know uh, the first feature which we are going to see here is, first feature is all about sharing. Sharing sharing we will be learning how to share local resource to your virtual machine. That is the first thing. And second thing, by using RDP, by using RDP.
we are not.
I have asked before, so someone said yes. Visible now?
Yes.
So what I was telling you, let's say the feature number one which we want to see here is, for example, if we do have a computer or laptop, so we are connecting printer here, we are connecting, the hard disk also, you are having USB port, you do have, port 3.5 for earphone, you do have VGA port, HDMI port, right? These all are the port we do have in our local computer, right? Local computer we do have this kind of port. But how you are going to access all this port in a virtual machine or virtual instance or in your instance, basically how you are going to access all that we will be checking first. So these comes under the sharing option, right? So once your machine is getting launched, the RDP, remote desktop protocol, the RDP protocol we are using, RDP protocol we are using. So if you need to open RDP, you can press Windows key plus Windows plus R you can press, and you can type there MSTSC. This is the short key to open RDP. Open RDP. First thing. And second thing, directly you can search RDP also. Once your RDP will open, then we will see the feature of RDP. In the feature of RDP, everything will come. For example, if you can see my screen, here I am going to type RDP. So it is opening remote desktop protocol. It is not my virtual machine, it is my local machine, guys. In my local machine, if I'll search RDP, it will give us this remote desktop connections. This is one way of search. Second one, you press Windows plus R and you write MSTSC, enter. It will again open the remote desktop connection same. Now by using this, I'll tell you how to connect and what all are the additional options that we are getting, sharing options we are getting into RDP in remote desktop connection. All right. So for example, let's suppose your machine is ready. So we will view the instance. We will view the instance. This is your instance which is ready. This is your instance which is ready. And you can see the last instance which was Windows machine 1. It has been terminated. See, it is terminated. It is terminated. So it is visible now for now, means it is deleted, but it is available, it is visible. But if you don't want to see that, what you can do is you can filter all the running instance you can filter here. Or this is not creating any problem for us, we can leave it as it is also. It is not available anymore, it is terminated. Okay, so which machine is for us right now, which we have created, Windows machine 2. And if we can just remove their names so that it won't be visible now, right? So this is our Windows machine 2 which we have created just now. So if you need to connect to this machine, please make sure what is the public IP address of machine. Without public IP address you cannot connect this machine. Without public IP address you cannot connect this machine. So what you will do is you will select your machine from here, and after that you will copy the public IP address from here. And after that you will open the RDP of your computer. RDP, remote desktop protocol of your computer. You can simply open this, and in the computer name you have to keep the same IP address only. You have to keep the IP address in the computer name, and the IP address should be the public IP address of the machine. After keeping this IP address in the computer, we will click on show options. Once you'll go into the show option, username of your virtual machine will be always administrator. So you need to make sure this should be starting from capital letter and the spelling should be correct as administrator. Clear, guys? Now, if you need to do some setups into display, whether you want to how you are going to choose your uh, remote desktop size, how you want to drag the slider all the way to right or left, you can just set up here. And the quality, you can choose the color depth in the remote session, so you do have too many color here you can select. Apart from it, what local resources you want to access, guys, what exactly you want to access. Let's say if you want to add audio, you can set up and you can add here. If you need to add a keyboard, if you need to add a keyboard only when using the full screen, that time example alt tab, or if you do have additional keyboard you can add to this computer also. You will add that keyboard to your local computer, but it will be connected to your virtual computer. So this is the option to add. And if you go to the more option, local devices and sharing, so here you can see, if you want to access ports of your laptop, if you want to access locations of your laptop, if you want to access drive of your laptop, if you want to access video capture device of your laptop, supported plugs, PNP devices, so all you can select. Even if you go in drive, OS drive you need, are my computers DE, this drive I want to share with the virtual machine, or video capture, let's say integrated webcam, or device that I plug in later, anyone if you want to connect, you can, right? So these all things you can get it directly into the direct. Let's say I'll remove everything, I'll show you only of drive, right? Only of drive or video capture, but there won't be a camera or something. But let's try once. So integrated webcam, I am having one more camera here. No. Okay, let's do not integrate the cam. But mhm. Okay, let's do the drive only. I'll just open a single drive, not C, not E, only D drive. In D, with some important document is there. Anyone we can do. It's not showing like somebody is ready to hack it like that. So I have selected new volume E. So new volume E of my laptop will be shared with the virtual machine. Got it, guys? In experience options has been given to you, and then advanced feature that has been added. So overall, if you need to connect, you can just click here on connect option, and then it will start asking the password. It will start asking the password. See, so so for the password, the same process. You will go to the connect option, RDP client. You need to get password from here, upload private key file, which we have recently downloaded as a Windows 2 PIM. Open, and we have to decrypt it, and we have to copy this, and again you have to paste here the password. Once you paste the password, you will be able to log in into the machine, and you have to just click on yes. Right, so this is the feature of RDP for sending the physical resources to the virtual machine. Okay, and as you all know, it is resizable compute capacity. So if we are facing, if we are facing any problem, if we are facing any problem in this machine, the virtual machine which I am using right now, in terms of their speed, in terms of their performance, then what I can do here, I am using cloud, it means that I can modify something here. So it's a resizable compute capacity, it means that we can resize this machine. So for example, this time I'll open File Explorer to show you the drive which I have shared, it is coming here or not. So as you can see here, this PC, I'll go to this PC, there is this PC, but here redirected drives and folder, it is coming E on desktop. E means my drive, it is coming. My drive, my hard disk part is coming. See all these folders which I do have here. If I minimize it and I'll show you the same folder, uh, E in my laptop. So this is E. Inside E, I do have AWS Restart, Dell Latitude, Gate. These all we do have, right? These all we do have. So if I'll minimize it and if I'll show you the same folders I am getting here in the virtual machine, like the same anything, either it can be drive, port, anything you want, you can use here. You can use here. Okay, that is one thing. But parallelly you are feeling the speed is not very fast, speed is not good. So what you can do is, if you want, because it's resizable compute capacity, so we will go back to again the instance. Again, you are not satisfied, you are not happy with the instance, and you want to change the size of it, you want to change the size of it, then you cannot directly change the size. If you need to change the size of this machine to increase the performance, then what will you do? You have to stop this machine. So here we have selected, I'll click here on instance state, and then I will stop this instance. I will stop this instance. I will click here stop. So what will happen? This machine, this instance will get stopped. Once your machine will get stopped, then this will get disconnected. It will get disconnected. See, it got disconnected now. It will get disconnected. Machine has been disconnected now. Okay, we'll close this. Now once it will get stopped, as you can see the state is stopping. State is showing stopping. So once it will get stopped, guys, is there any problem in audio? Breaking. Now, now it is fine. Better. I'll need somewhat more better. I'll do it. I guess it is more fine now for everybody. Perfect. So now you see the status. It is stopped, right? If it is stopped, it means that you can change the instance type. You can change the instance type, or you can change the hardware, virtual hardware. So you have to select this again, and you have to go to actions. Under the actions, you will see here instance setting. You will go to instance setting, and here there is an option called change instance type. Change instance type. So what will happen? You will go back to this, and what we have selected before, T2 micro. What will I do is I will change it to, because the pricing it is showing, you can see an on demand or Linux price is 0.01 US dollar, for Windows 0.0162 US dollar. So you will change it now. So here you will select T2 small. Let's say we want to make it T2 is small. So the pricing has been updated, and what you can do is you can change it to T2 is small. Once you will change it to T2 is small, then further again after changing, you can reconnect the machine, but before reconnecting you have to start it. So we will go back to instance state, and we have to start the instance. You have to start the instance. Then if you refresh, it will say pending, and then slowly it will come into the running state, and then after running it will bring you into the status check 2 by 2 passed. So once again if we connect, now we will be able to use it much more comfortable, because it gives us one CPU with 2 GB RAM. In micro, we were having 1 CPU, 1 GB RAM. Here we will be getting 2 GB RAM, I guess. So this will be giving you much more speed. So it will take few more seconds to come up. And now you can connect it again. It will be working perfectly. We will click here on to connect RDP client and get password, upload the private key file, and after this we will open it. We will decrypt the password, copy this, download the remote desktop file to make it short. So now we will connect it again. It will be working as it was working, but this time the speed will be much more faster because we have modified it as a T2 is small. So this is how you used to resize it. Did you understand, guys, how to resize it? Perfect. And we have connected it also. Now you need to learn. Now you need to learn one more thing into the same. All these features which are coming here, all these features which are coming here that you will be learning. Apart from it, what all are the things that has been given into the left menu? Those part you will be learning in detail, one by one. So I'll start with the instances. Are we will use this instance later because these things are really important, right? So one by one, the entire feature will start from images. Will complete this images and EBS tomorrow. This two part we will not this two part we will complete this one, and this one. All three part tomorrow, and on Monday this will get completed, right? Out of it you will be having at least minimum 7 to 10 labs. 10 labs you will be using to complete this all up, right? So we have used the Windows virtual machine. We came to know how to connect with that machine, and we came to know how to share the local resources to that machine. This is what we came to know. Along with that, how to resize a machine we came to know. And this is for today. Tomorrow I'll be telling you a few more things like how to set up a machine for web server, our database server. Some additional things will come to this machine one by one, right? So I am going to end. And if you need to delete this machine, you can click on instance state and terminate.